The market sells off Friday but shoots up in Sunday's futures. Are the bulls back in town? This is Invest with Jacob. Okay, guys, so in last week's video, we talked about the fact that the market should continue its selling down into the 3800s, and that's exactly what we saw. The market moved down towards 3840, which is our 1618 target, before bouncing at the close on Friday and in the futures on Sunday night. Now the question is, how high can the bulls take it? I'll get into that in just one second, but first, if you're new here, welcome to the show, guys. My name is Jacob Gabbard, and this is Invest with Jacob, where we use Elliott Wave Theory to break down the SP 500 and the NASDAQ. I highly encourage you to hit that subscribe button down below so that you can get our daily S&P updates, our trade setups, and our buy alerts. All right, guys, with the move down continuing as expected, we absolutely crushed it in trading. You can see on the screen, people in our group are doing very well. And if you would like to be a part of a trading group like this, stay tuned for later in the video. For now, let's jump into the chart and take a look. Okay, guys, so here we are on the 5-minute SPX chart. And normally I track the futures, but as I told you in last week's video, there was the contract rollover on Friday that was about a 40-point jump. It kind of messes with the counts because it's not a real gap up, it's just a contract roll. And so because of that, we're going to look at the SPX, where the market played really what we call perfect fib pinball. So from the top, we got our wave 1 down, we got our wave 2 up, okay, and then we had 1 and 2, and then wave 3 came down, wave 3 of 3 hit the 236 almost on the dot, which is exactly where you would expect that to hit. We bounced back to the 764 almost on the dot, which is exactly where you'd expect that to hit. Then we came down and hit the 1618 almost on the dot, which is where you would expect that to hit. Now we would look for a bounce back toward the 3908 area. And in the futures, right now we are getting a big bounce on Sunday night. So if we open this here, you can see that the futures are up 50 points here. And if you add that 40 to this number, or subtract that 40 from this number, that puts us at about 3909, which is for the SPX, which is where we would be right here at 3908. So right now they are in the range of this potential wave 4 bounce, okay? So this 3908 1.0 fib is the general target. It can go up to the 3934 area. If they push through that, that is a warning, okay, to the bears that the bulls may be taking control of the market again and pushing higher. So the idea is corrective depth theory that the wave 4 of 3 should contain overall wave 4, meaning that this move generally should not go higher than this wave 4. It can, it absolutely can, but generally it should not in typical Elliott Wave pinball, fib pinball. So it can go as high as the 764 before coming down, which would be the 3935 area, and then we would look for that move down towards 3800 here in wave 5. Now, when I say a break of 3800, okay, that means they can push it down under 3800 and still come back above it and be fine. It doesn't mean that when the exact number 3800 breaks, we're definitely going down in the big wave C. It just means that's an area to start looking for a continuation pattern to the downside. So when we get into our next count, I'll talk about that a little bit more. So anyway, to finish this one off, okay, we should expect that move up to as high as 3935, and then we should see a move back down to 3800 or even a little lower on the SPX to complete our count that we've been tracking off of the top. And this would complete a bigger wave B, and from here we would expect a C wave back up toward the 4300 area. Now, if that doesn't happen, okay, there are two alternatives that we would be looking at. The first is the bullish alternative. The bullish alternative would say that we're going to continue to push higher here, and we've already bottomed, okay? We didn't quite make it to 3800, and we bottomed at 3841 or so, a little higher than that, and we're already on our way up. So the first alternative is that we've bottomed. This was a 1-2, and we're getting 3 now in the overnights, okay? And then you'd get a 4-5 setup to give us a 5-wave move up. Then we'd look for a pullback that holds support and come back and take out that high. For this to play out, the bulls need to take out 3950 on the SPX. So that is the top of the pivot. And anytime the pivot breaks in the opposite direction, in this case it would be going up, breaking up through the pivot when the market's moving down, that is a strong signal that the move down has completed, or we're not going to see a full completion of that move down in the way we thought. It may take on a different shape or form. So 3950 is the key level for the bulls to break for this upside pattern to start to play out. And that could give us a strong indication we're on our way towards that 43 to 4400 area. The second alternative is the bearish, more bearish alternative. And that is, if we zoom out just a little bit to the hourly count, actually I don't have it on this chart, I have it on the futures chart. That would be where we topped in wave 1, or I'm sorry, bottomed in wave 1, and this bounce right here was wave 2 up to where the C is, and we'd be starting the bigger wave 3 of C that would ultimately take us down toward the 2,900 to 2,500 area. Now, that can be a little bit tricky when we see it, because what can be happening is you get a wave 1 of 3 of C, then you get a wave 2 of 3 of C bounce, and then you get 3 of 3 down that'll be really strong and really ugly, and we'll break 3,700, 3,800, then 3,800, then 3,700. And 3,700 is about as low as we can possibly go. Once 3,700 is gone, we should be headed toward 2,500 to 2,900 on the SPX. So 3,800 is where we'd expect it to stop because of the fib level, but there is more support through 3,700, and a break of 3,700 kind of tells us it's game over to the downside. So those are the 3 paths we're tracking. The first one is the primary, where we should be getting this bounce that we're getting. We were looking for this bounce and then move down toward that 3,800 area, and then from there bounce again, and this time be a rally towards 4,300. Second would be that we've already bottomed and we're starting that rally to 4,300, and the third count would be that we're breaking down in wave 3 of C towards 2,900 to 2,500 in a bigger move down. Over on the NASDAQ, okay, the NASDAQ is a little bit trickier because we are still looking at the NASDAQ futures, which means that the 130-point gap up that wasn't a real gap up is still on the chart, so the numbers are inflated. But if you cut this down and just move it down 130 points, it looks exactly like the SPX chart, where you have a good-looking 5 waves down, or I'm sorry, 3 waves down, and you're still expecting that 4 or 5. So we would be expecting, if they didn't have the contract roll, we would be expecting them to come to basically the 11,980 to 12,070 area, and all you have to do is add 130 to both of those, so that would be about 12,113 up to 12,200. So 12,113 to 12,200 would be our target for this wave 4 up, and it can go as high as about 12,250. Over 12,250 on the NASDAQ, okay, and it's very likely the move down is either done, or they're going to take it into a diagonal or some kind of other structure to get the final move or final push to the downside. So 12,250 is the key level to the upside for the NASDAQ. Otherwise, we're still expecting a wave 4 up, a wave 5 down, and then a rally from there that'll take us up toward the 14,000 level. Okay, the bearish alternative, or I'm sorry, the bullish alternative is the same as the ES. It's that we've already bottomed, or this SPX, I should say. It's that we've already bottomed and we're starting back up. And a break of that 12,250 level, okay, would tell us that we're on our way up to that 14,000 level, or potentially in wave 2 of 3, as I highlighted on the SPX as well. So the other count is the bearish count, where we'd be bottoming, okay, in wave 1 of 3. Probably a little lower. I still think you need another low on that, but it could be a wave 1 of 3 here. You get a bounce in 2 of 3, and then it's 3 of 3 down on the NASDAQ. And should they break that 11,200 level, actually 11,330 now with the extra points in there, 11,330 level, okay, we would expect them to follow through to the downside toward that 6,000, 7,000 level on the NASDAQ. Guys, if you love the information that I put out in these videos and you want real-time market updates from me, you need to check out investwithjacob.com. There's a link down in the description. Go ahead and click that link, and it will take you right over to the website. Once you're there, check out our membership plans area. We have 2 incredible plans, and they both come with a 7-day free trial, because I want you to get in there, make sure you love it, become part of our trading team before you ever spend a penny. You can cancel at any time. We just started our training courses, and the first one is our Elliott Wave for Beginners course. And as you can see, we have a bunch of videos that you can go through to learn Elliott Wave the way I teach it. And that comes with both memberships. In our first room, the Invest with Jacob room, you get all of my real-time market updates, all of my buy and sell alerts, all of your Elliott Wave questions answered, a midday video where I go over exactly where we are in the counts, as well as the training videos you just saw. We trade the SPY and the QQQ, and we swing trade, which means our trades can last anywhere from a few days to a few months, so we don't trade quite as often as a day trading room does. However, if you are looking for day trading, as well as individual stocks, you need to check out PT's Throne Room. In there, you get everything you get in the Invest with Jacob room, as well as day trading, individual stocks, and PT's reduced risk binary method that absolutely crushes the market. He gets you in at a cheap price and gets you big multiples on your money, and it's how he structures the trade that's so unique. It's something you kind of have to see to understand, and that's another reason we give you that 7-day free trial. He also started a challenge account where he put $4,000 into an account, trading mini ES futures averaging 3 to 4% gains per week, showing you how to build a small account into a large retirement or savings account. Guys, we would love to have you in these rooms so we can all make some money together. All right, key takeaways for today. Remember, we're on the SPX chart here. We are expecting that bounce up toward 39.08 to 39.35 on the SPX. Anything over 39.50 indicates that the move down is either done or it's going to morph into some other shape like a diagonal. If they give us a three-wave move up into the wave 2 support zone and then come down and break this low, then it can be very likely we're on our way down toward that 2,900 to 2,500 area in wave C. However, if it is an impulsive move up that takes out 39.50, then we would be on our way to 4,300. Over on the NASDAQ, same types of setups, except it's a little more confusing because you have to do the subtraction of the 130 points. Our primary path is we're looking for that wave 4 bounce. Anything over the 12,250 range is an indication that the move down is done or taking on a different shape. Unless we get a three-wave move up and then come down and break the low, then it would indicate we're in that bigger wave 3 of C down toward the 6,000 to 7,000 region. However, if they do hold support and we get an impulsive move higher off of that support, we would be on our way toward the 14,000 region. Guys, that is the market update for today. I will talk to you tomorrow.